and welcome to Incredible Achievers, Brands and Leaders only on ET Now. On this series, we introduce you to brands that have been taking the Indian market by storm and make you meet the men and women behind them. Today, we are taking a walk down the corridors of fashion. The Indian fashion industry has been evolving from age-old traditions to modern styles and global trends. So today, let's explore this transition while also unraveling the success story of an apparel brand that has been changing the face of the Indian garment sector for the last 7 years. Here's the story of CRIMSOUNE CLUB. India's apparel retail market, currently estimated at 2,27,000 crore rupees, is expected to grow many-fold over the next decade, at a constant pace of about 9% every year. A consistent name in the textile industry, Mangla Apparel has been one of the thought leaders in this space for the last 80 years. In 2007, this leading player launched its own brand, CRIMSOUNE CLUB, with an aim to offer glamour to the Indian middle class at affordable pricing.
काफ़ी जूझना पड़ा है रेडीमेड गारमेंट्स में आने के बाद में, क्योंकि एक पहले से लगे हुए व्यक्ति के लिए एक नया यूनिट लगाना बड़ा आसान है, पर कपड़े से गारमेंट्स में आना और गारमेंट्स में इतनी जल्दी एक ही दशक में सफलता प्राप्त कर लेना एक अभूतपूर्व देन है, जिसके पीछे एक अच्छी समझ बूझ उस कपड़े के बारे में, बेसिक कपड़े की समझ बूझ के कारण आज गारमेंट्स में भी हमारी हर आइटम टॉप जाती है और उसने अपना एक स्थान ऐसा बना लिया जिसका कोई कंपटीटर हमें नहीं दिखाई देता, हमारे देश में क्या विदेश में भी। और इसीलिए हम आज यहाँ तक पहुँच गए कि अपने देश में एक प्रतिष्ठा बनाई, एक स्थान बनाया, स्टोर्स के ऊपर, बायर्स के ऊपर, उपभोक्ता के दिलों तक हमने एक स्थान बनाया और उसके साथ में हम जुड़ गए और हमारी दृष्टि प्रारंभ से ही थी कि हमारे उपभोक्ता के पास पहुँचे हम।
With a product line that consists of 100% cotton casual clothing, the brand focuses its energies on manufacturing, retail and export of garments. Today, the company boasts of a presence at about 2,000 retail outlets across the country with the latest range of casual apparel. Driving this phenomenal growth is third-generation entrepreneur Vivek Agarwal, whose sharp business acumen is instrumental in carrying forward the family legacy. You all have had an established family business for about almost 8 decades now. Tell us a little about that, and did you always want to be an entrepreneur or did you ever think of doing something else?
Of course, we have been into textiles from generations. My father, my grandfather, everyone has been into textiles. And even I started at a very early age, somewhere at 20 years, I joined my business. So as far as the enterprise is concerned, it was into jeans. I never had any thought that it won't be a big enterprise one day. So we decided why not to go ahead and create it an enterprise.
So when did the idea of shifting from textiles to ready-made garments happen?
Actually, we were into textiles and it is an industry which is feeding to the all RMG sector. The entire ready-made garment sector we were catering, and we wanted a lot of things. We wanted something should be like this, people should wear this, something this. So we were not that satisfied. So we thought, why not to make people wear something what is there in my mind? Why not to make people more fashionable? So we have that strength. We know textile, we know yarns, we know trends. We were too much connected with the entire garment industry of India at least. So with that thought process, with that knowledge, we thought yes, it's the right time to start the brand. New generation was coming. So it was the right decision and we took it forward.
And what are the different product ranges that you offer to the consumer?
We give entire wardrobe for men and women, whether it is shirts, trousers, denims, shorts, sweaters, jackets, pullovers, blazers. Same with all the categories in women's also, inclusive dresses. But everything is close to cotton, everything is very fresh, everything is somewhere on the smart casual lines. It is nowhere on the very formal lines and nowhere on the high fashion lines.
And what was the thought behind focusing just on casual clothing? How come you didn't choose formals?
Because there was a space. In India, most of the brands were doing either formals or the very high fashion garment. I hardly find there was any smart casual category brand which is fashionable as well as comfortable. So, and across the globe there were around 10-12 very good brands were rising very sharply with this concept. So we had that information, we started ourselves, we find yes there is a vacuum and we tried to fill that vacuum, and there was space in India for that specific category, I can say.
What would you say is the unique selling point of your company that differentiates it from other companies?
Major difference is most of the apparel company don't have that deep information about the textile. If I say our core strength was the textile when we started, we know everything from fiber to yarns, what mixing should be taken, why the Egyptian cotton is better than this cotton, why the specific this Indian cotton gives a better output, more comfort. So our core strength with the textiles and yarns was there. Then we put a very good team for designers, for the feedback system, for the surveys, and all together we started with with a global concept, not with a specific concept what was selling in India. And I find it took us somewhere within this time to this stage.
And today, what would you say is your target clientele as far as the Indian market is concerned?
Everyone whosoever want to look smart would love to wear Crimson Club of any age group. This is something about the smartness and comfortable, both things together. This is my brand.
So you've always chosen to be in the cotton segment. Any plans of diversifying into other fibers, and what's the thought behind being only in cotton?
I think cotton is the only skin friendly thing, so we care for that. Of course we are into cotton from very initial stage, and even now we are almost stick to cotton, and even for the development it is not, we are not shifting, but we are shifting to the natural fibers only. We are not moving towards the polyesters or man-made fibers. So we have already launched our entire line for linens. We have already tied up for tencels, modals, viscose. All these are natural fibers which are somewhere the third generation cotton kind of things. So yes, we are moving but towards the cotton lines, but on the natural fiber lines.
Today, what is the reach of Crimson Club like pan-India?
You name a city, a town, anything. We are from metros to A, B, C, all kind of cities we are available. We have already crossed more than 450 cities in India. Almost 2200 good retailers are connected with Crimson Club, apart from the LFRs, large format stores, and our EBOs, and now the brand is even going ahead also. So it's a big network, and this is a big team which is working for Crimson Club, and that's our core strength, you can say.
Today, urban Indians are really moving a lot onto online shopping. Is there a plan that Crimson Club also has to leverage e-commerce? Are you already doing e-commerce activities?
Not already doing, but we have already started planning for that. A lot of homework is already done, because Crimson Club has already got such a big size that we cannot start anything at an instance. So for that we need to do our homework. We have put the separate production capacities. We have already put the separate warehousing capacities. A new vertical has been developed for the e-retailing. So it is already working, and hope we will launch our own portal also by November this year, and also other marketplaces also. So online businesses, yes, it is there, and we are starting it.
Budget 2014 has increased import incentives for garment manufacturers. Has that impacted your business yet? Are you happy, or were you expecting more?
It's too small. It's just a very small incentive for any domestic brand who don't have a much larger export base. We were expecting a lot, but yes, we can say it was just a short span. So government didn't have that time. But it is true that government has to work hard for the apparel industry. During last 5 years time, you see the cotton, the textiles, spinning, all industries has grown, but the apparel industry has shrunk. So there need to be a lot of hard work to be done for that. You need to understand about the labor reforms, because it is a high labor oriented industry. Unless there are not good labor reforms, it's not easy to survive there. You have to think about the interstate business, which is again a very difficult task in India. GST should be implemented as soon as it is possible. Direct to tax code should be implemented there. So taxation should be liberalized. At least the new company law, 2013 Companies Act, this is really such a horror it's a nightmare for any company today. So we see something positive from the government very shortly, and we have to look up for that.
India is emerging as a promising retail market, projecting robust growth rates in the coming decade. In this budding marketplace, Crimson Club has its eyes set on further expansion. The brand has already left its mark in more than 450 Indian cities and aims to open 40 new stores this year alone. So you're already present in over 450 cities in India. What next?
Actually, seeing our current market share, we have been working on improving width of our product line. It will give us more sales at the secondary sales point. In recent past, we have invested a lot in branding process, in be it the print media or the TV media. It creates a brand recall value, which will again help us in further expansion. Oral publicity or what you call mouth publicity has given us a good point so that we are able to generate more sales.
Crimson Club has become a pan-India brand in less than a decade. What's the sort of networking strategy that you've adopted over the years?
We created a network of associates across nation and motivated them to adopt multiple networking strategies. They have great confidence in Crimson. Their target was not just urban cities, they took us to 2-3 tier cities as well, which has been a major factor in strengthening our networking.
And what are the various methods that you adopt for product development?
While designing the product, we personalize it according to our consumer. We ask ourselves, what do we want them to feel? Is it delight, joy, love, affection? There are 1,000 no's to every yes. We synonymize colors across our product categories so as to create a fiber to fashion concept wherein different feedback tools are implemented.
How are you ensuring customer satisfaction? Are there particular strategies that you're adopting to ensure that there's customer delight when your product is delivered?
Yes, of course. We give him fresh colors, we give them new products, we give them new concepts, what international brands are we giving. So we are able to cope up with the current market situation. We are able to compete with the international brands or what you call national big brands, and that's the way we give them total satisfaction.
How do you ensure that every product produced by the company is of great quality?
See, we have one of the best quality checking team from yarn to garmenting level. Every dimension of the product is taken into consideration before the garment is approved.
An emerging clothing line, Crimson Club makes sure that the touch and feel of its brand reaches all of its fashionable customers. The company has adopted diverse marketing and branding strategies, including print, digital and region-specific activities, as well as a national television campaign to make its presence felt far and wide.
We don't stick to the general, conventional, traditional techniques of, print media or just say going into the newspapers and magazines. We started with the TV commercials. That is what was the USP. Usually you see people are not able to think to that scale. TV media is a very expensive investment. But that's how we went. That was the forevision to it, and it's been great. It's been very successful for us. Other than that, we have been launching a new promotional strategy that is through the Omni channels, which is actually a direct consumer to producer relation where we interact with them and promote our product.
We got huge response in improving secondary sales. We touched new heights in sales increased ratio, as well as it develops brand recognition. After making a good quality product from such a long time, we need a path who has a mass approach, and for being a brand, or after maintaining a brand value, now it was a necessity to us to have a TV commercial.
Crimson Club is today one of the few promising apparel brands to launch the wardrobe concept in the domestic market. And for its innovative promotional activities such as these, the company recently won the distinction of being the best emerging brand of India at the India Fashion Forum. Indeed, Crimson Club is very focused on creating its identity as a forward-looking brand for the Indian youth. Let's head into a short break right now. When we return, we'll witness the working of dedicated hands that are making Crimson Club a sought-after brand among the fashion-conscious. You're watching Incredible Achievers, Brands and Leaders only on ET Now. Welcome back to Incredible Achievers, Brands and Leaders only on ET Now. Before the break, we unfolded the growth story and the marketing strategies of apparel brand Crimson Club. But at the very core, its business is really driven by its unique designs and advanced technologies that are taking the company to unprecedented heights. Take a look. Leading apparel brand Crimson Club has an extensive network of 3 manufacturing units across Delhi and the National Capital Region. The company's factory at Noida specializes in menswear, and thanks to using advanced technology, the company manufactures an average of over 1,500 garments every single day. However, its impressive numbers don't take a toll on the quality that it offers.
Actually, the major challenge with any brand is today of the right quality at the minimum cost or the competitive cost. What we do, we are training people, we are automating our factory, we are buying good technology to bring it at the minimum cost production. Whereas for the quality, we are implementing Six Sigma statistical process control in our company and all around our company so that we can get the best quality.
Today, young India is becoming increasingly aspirational and fashion conscious. Internet on the go is shrinking geographies and opening the doors to global trends. A dedicated team of designers at Crimson Club carefully studies these trends, constantly upgrading the styles and options that it offers to consumers.
We do a trend forecast, a good trend forecast, and then we go for a market survey where we can see what international brands are doing. And then what we do is we compare the international and Indian trends and national trends, and getting inspired from that, we make mood boards and color boards according to our brand, and then we go with the national developments. Our biggest challenge is competing with international brands and also to clothe the pan-India in Crimson Club.
I love this brand because yes, quality is good and your fittings are very good.
I like the product very much because the product quality, the color concept, everything is too good.
From the moment I've started using Crimson Club, I have really liked it because it suits all my necessities, like fittings and everything are really good.
Crimson Club initially followed the strategy of entering multi-brand retail outlets to tap the market. After becoming a familiar name, the brand has launched exclusive stores at high streets in all Indian capital cities. With its strong partnerships and fashion-forward offerings, Crimson Club is a hit not only with consumers but also with multi-brand retail buyers.
I think they've done a wonderful job. If I look at many brands in this phase, I would rate them in the first 5 in really achieving what they wanted to achieve. They had absolute clarity. They knew what way they were going. Aesthetics, pricing, quality, target group was all in the same sync. They never wavered anywhere I could see.
Retail stores, they prove advantage for us in many ways. The consumer has a better brand recall. Besides that, we are able to offer a wider width of product, which is, somehow gets restricted on the multi-brand outlets. Though multi-brand outlet, being the initial model when we entered the market, has a stronger share, if I say as of now. And it's growing at a steady pace, but retail, it's growing at exponential pace, riding on brands' goodwill and experience that we have earned out of the retailing in the past few years.
So now Crimson Club is also aiming to become a multinational brand and you're targeting overseas markets. What's the strategy? What's the thought behind that?
See, our design idea originally is for a universal product. So that is why Crimson products are loved everywhere. For the international market, we laid out a strategy. First, we entered the Gulf countries like UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Saudi Arab, and other adjoining countries. There was a fabulous response in terms of key retailers accepting our product in the first phase itself. Then we created a solid network in Nepal, which was relatively easier to service from India. We started Sri Lanka, which is again a close ally. So we have a separate team which handles the international business. So they constantly observe the lifestyle, the habits, the traits of various prospect countries, so that when we go and when we launch our product in those countries, so we are well prepared. Next on cards, we have US, Canada and Latin American nations. So we feel we are well prepared. We'll have a superb launch in these Western countries.
How stiff is competition at an international level? You have Vietnam, Cambodia, Bangladesh, China offering garments at much lower price points than India can for various reasons. So how tough is it to crack customers globally?
See, what we have observed is that maybe these nations are contributing a good number of production to international requirements, but you can't point out many brands from these countries who have come up and grown to become a global brand. So they would be more restricted to providing products to already established international brands, but there would be very few people who have promoted their own labels. So we have moved with a different focus. So we are not anyway in competition to manufacturers as such, because we are promoting Crimson Club as a whole. As a brand itself, we have a unique identity, our styling, our designs. So that as a whole package does not collide with any manufacturer as an entity and anywhere in the neighboring countries, or even for sake the Western countries.
Right. And globally, do you find more acceptance for the Made in India tag now than, say, a couple of years ago?
See, even the most major brands of the world, they are now dependent on India for their garment supplies. So the best of the products, they have already been made by India. So I don't think people are anyway reticent in accepting Made in India labels or products. They are very well accepting it, and in fact I have observed that they now find it that Indian made products are better in quality, because the crop and the infrastructure India has, from yarn to garmenting to everything up to retailing level, not many of the countries are able to provide that composite structure.
Growing at a scorching rate of over 50% in the last 5 years, Crimson Club is confident of maintaining the same momentum and ruling the domestic apparel market. Banking on its universal appeal and strong ability to compete internationally, the company is also eyeing 50 new international markets in the near future. An ambitious feat that this relatively new kid on the block is very likely to achieve. So that was Crimson Club, an apparel brand with a mission to take good quality casual clothing made in India to people around the world. In less than a decade, the company has indeed written a very impressive success story for itself. That's all we have on today's episode. Next time, we'll explore another incredible brand of India and meet the men and women who have built it. Till then, it's goodbye.